Pacific campaign, but it just, to me, I don't know, it wasn't as intriguing as Europe.
The building is collapsing around us!
Ooh, shit. Gonna save up some ammo. I love this gun. And it's really cool too, especially because this is still technically the Eastern Front. There's a lot of videos on YouTube of people going out with metal detectors and excavating, you know, old battlefields and finding relics. They find PPSH 41s, they find K98s. Obviously not shootable in the slightest anymore. But the wood rots away, but the metal's still there. You can still tell what it was. And that's really cool. You find a lot of MP40s because MP40s were completely metal, and they had a little bit of plastic, which usually erodes away and breaks. But they do find a couple of them with a bakelite or whatever that's what the plastic's called, bakelite, is still intact. And it's just super cool to just imagine that, you know, it's really easy to distance yourself from history, but that really reins it in, and it's like, yeah, holy shit, this really happened. In one way or the other, one outlook or another, this genuinely happened. They find a lot of, like I said, K98 barrels, a lot of metals, to be honest, too. Like, I saw a few where they found some Iron Crosses, some Luftwaffe, Eagle wings, all kinds of stuff. It's really interesting.
I can hardly breathe. Complaining will not help. Just keep low. In Stalingrad, Dmitri and I go through many smoke-filled buildings. Do you hear him complaining?
It's also cool to see, just thinking about those videos again, is how many weapons that the Germans used cross fronts. Like, they did as excavations and they actually found in weapons dumps M1 carbines from the US, the Western Front, you know, what the US was using, basically a smaller version of the M1 Garand. They found that action halfway to Moscow, and it's just crazy to see or think that, you know, somebody somewhere either picked this up as a souvenir and tried to use it, or just was like carrying it with them, or they genuinely were trying to use it against everybody. And whereas the Great War was more, the Western Front was trench combat, and it was just kind of like bleeding each other dry. World War II was everything but that. It was so much more brutal. It was so much more... And brutal, I mean, a lot of people died both ways, but the Germans, at least, you know, they had a doctrine, you know, if they took sniper fire from resistance when they occupied towns in Moscow or Poland, etc., they would execute civilians in order to keep the discipline and, you know, keep you from rising up because you could have your neighbor killed because you decided to try to take on the enemy. So it was so much more mobile, had so much, or had such better weapons. I need to hide. It was just amazing. It's amazing war to study. My nerd is showing. My inner nerd is showing. Oh well. It's fun. And that's what I think, again, changing forms of discussion a little bit more is what they need to do to revitalize or reinvigorate the Call of Duty, you know, fan base is to quit with the future shit and give us a genuinely good campaign in an interesting setting. Because this future shit isn't doing it, and you know, the sales for Infinite Warfare are pretty much showing that. I mean, there's always going to be the kids and their mom, you know, their mom goes out and buys them the new Call of Duty for their Christmas present or a Halloween present or whatever they do. But it's genuinely not as interesting.
Make sure they are all dead. Kill them all! Wipe the scum from the streets! Jonah! What is going on?
These men are
Nick
trying to
Sheeson.
surrender.
Look around you, Jonah. Do you think these men will be denied their revenge? Death comes only two ways. Fast or slow. Dmitri, it is your choice. You should have shot them, Jonah. It is only cruel to prolong an animal's suffering. Quickly! Into the metro! This way!
And again, that was not because I'm just being brutal. That's more or less getting immersed in it. The Russians, they would kill Russians, they would kill Polish, they would kill everybody, civilians, just to establish order. So, you know, and also it's a goddamn video game. But
Where you are, give your eyes a moment to adjust to the darkness.
MG-42 on the left platform! Open fire!
okay, I was behind a bunch of cover, but I guess that works.
Split up!
Actually, I want to go up here. Go to the left flank. Because my guy's right-handed. So shooting from the right should allow me the most amount of cover.
Stay where you are. Give your eyes.
MG-42 on the left platform! Open fire!
Fuck you. Why are there just so many English hunting shotguns around? Is it an open door? Yes.
cannot fight the darkness. Move! We are going to be crushed or buried alive. Move faster!
Need to heal.
We need to find a way out! We will! There will be an exit at the enemy platform. We will regroup there. Send them to the
I wish I knew some German though. It'd be kind of cool to actually understand what they're saying. Fuck, they came back. The Deutsch came back. This always pissed me off so much because I remember beating this on veteran. We're so close knit here. We're just like we're just shooting at each other at close range, and they just keep coming out of this doorway. So I'm assuming that goes up. No. It's just a spawn point. So you had to continuously advance and advance and advance and advance.
Hold them back! Look at that noise! Keep them off me! They're coming! Almost got them! Hurry, soldier!
Yeah, you better get it fucking quick. Everybody's getting butt big.
Look out!
The Battle of Peleliu finally came to an end in November 1944, 3 bitter months after it was supposed to. When we shipped out for Okinawa, the airfield became a vital asset in the campaign. Among those stationed there are the crews of the U.S. Navy Black Cats, men who would risk everything before they would leave any of us in enemy waters.
Yeah, buddy. Gunship.
Boats coming over them now! Yeah, I see them. Landry, open up.
This was the easiest level to get
Vessels are
a
now
victory
in
on
visual
in
range. Unmarked Japanese merchant fleet. Designation unknown.
veteran.
Probably resupplying the enemy on Okinawa.
Legitimate targets?
Affirmative, they're part of the enemy war machine. Permission to engage, over and out.
Roger that. Laughlin, Locke, get to your station. Start picking targets. Open fire! PT boats sunk! Whoa! You see that shit blow? Get on the rear gun! Take an MG fire on our 6! Keep it up!
This is kind of neat too, because I think they did this in 3 as well. Where you had to protect the bomber. No, that was Medal of Honor. Medal of Honor, you had a mission where you had to protect the,
Good job, Locke!
you had to protect the bomber, and, you know, and all these kinds of stuff. Or all